Hey everyone, it's Mike. Welcome back. So tonight is a good one. Tonight I am trying a brand new restaurant in downtown Denver with my closest friends. Now, trying a new restaurant is one of my favorite things, genuinely one of my favorite things. There is something about walking into a place for the very first time, not knowing what to expect, not knowing yet what your favorite dish will be, not knowing whether this will become a regular spot or just a one-time visit that feels exciting and full of possibility. A new restaurant is a small adventure, and I love a small adventure. The restaurant we are trying tonight is called Ember. It opened about 6 weeks ago in a part of downtown Denver that has been growing quickly. New bars, new coffee shops, new restaurants opening every few months. Ember came very highly recommended. Highly recommended means many people have spoken positively about it and strongly suggested others try it. Jason found it. He's always the one who discovers new places. He follows food blogs, reads restaurant reviews obsessively, and has a genuinely excellent instinct for finding good food. When Jason says a restaurant is worth trying, it is worth trying. So when he sent the group chat a link to Ember 2 weeks ago with the message, "We are going here on Saturday, I've already made a reservation," nobody argued. We just said yes. Tonight is Saturday, and here we are. Let me take you through the whole evening, from the moment we walked in to the moment we walked out. All the food, all the conversation, all the small details that make a great dinner with great friends one of life's finest pleasures. We arrived at the restaurant at 7:15 p.m., a few minutes before our reservation time. I always try to arrive a few minutes early for restaurant reservations. It's respectful of the restaurant's time, and it means you're never the slightly breathless, apologetic person rushing through the door while your friends are already seated. The exterior of the restaurant was immediately impressive. Exterior means the outside of a building, what you see before you walk in. Large glass windows showed the warm, glowing interior. A simple wooden sign above the door said Ember in clean, elegant lettering. Two small potted olive trees flanked the entrance, one on each side, perfectly symmetrical. Flanked means positioned on either side of something. We pushed open the heavy wooden door and walked in. The smell hit us first. That's always the first thing in a great restaurant. Before you see anything clearly, before your eyes adjust to the light, the smell reaches you. Tonight it was something smoky and rich and deeply savory. Savory means having a strong, pleasant, salty or spiced flavor, the opposite of sweet. The host greeted us warmly and led us to our table. Our table was a round wooden table near the window. Perfect. Round tables are the best for group dinners because everyone faces everyone else. Nobody is stuck at the end of a long table, slightly removed from the conversation. We settled in. Menus were placed in front of us. A server introduced herself, told us about the evening's specials. Specials are dishes available only for that particular day or evening, not on the regular menu, and asked if we had any dietary restrictions. Dietary restrictions means foods that someone cannot or chooses not to eat for health reasons, allergies, or personal choice. Priya is vegetarian. She doesn't eat meat, so she asked about the vegetarian options. The server was immediately helpful and knowledgeable, pointing out several dishes Priya would love. I like that in a server. Knowledge and enthusiasm about the food. It tells you the staff care about what they're serving. We opened our menus, and the table went quiet for a few minutes. That particular focused silence of four people reading a menu seriously. I love that silence. It means good things are about to happen. The menu at Ember was described as modern American cuisine with wood fire influences. Cuisine means a style of cooking, the particular approach and ingredients associated with a type of food. Wood fire influences means many of the dishes are cooked over or in a wood-burning fire, which gives food a distinctive, smoky, deeply flavored quality. The menu was not enormous, not one of those overwhelming menus with 47 options that make it impossible to choose. It was focused and confident. About 8 starters, 10 main courses, and 5 desserts. A focused menu like this usually means the kitchen does everything well rather than doing many things adequately. I read through every option carefully. Jason was already quietly enthusiastic about everything, pointing things out to Marcus across the table. Priya had found 3 vegetarian options she was excited about. The table had good energy, that particular anticipatory energy of people who are hungry and happy and about to eat something wonderful. We ordered drinks first. I ordered a glass of the house red wine. House wine means the wines selected by the restaurant as their standard offering, usually good quality and reasonably priced. Jason ordered a craft beer from a local Denver brewery. Marcus ordered a whiskey sour, a cocktail made with whiskey, fresh lemon juice, and a touch of sugar, shaken with ice. Priya ordered sparkling water with a slice of lemon. The drinks arrived quickly. We raised our glasses, our usual toast, and settled into conversation while we waited to order food. This is one of my favorite parts of a dinner out with these 3 people, the window between arriving and ordering, when the drinks are fresh and cold in your hands and nobody is distracted by their phones and the conversation just flows. We talked about the week. Jason told us about a funny situation at his office. Marcus showed us a photo from his and Priya's hiking trip planning. They had booked their Rocky Mountain National Park trip for the following month and were genuinely excited. Priya talked about a project she had been working on. I talked about the new restaurant we were sitting in and how good everything smelled. The server came back and we ordered. For starters, we decided to share 3 dishes between the 4 of us. Sharing starters is one of the best ways to experience a restaurant, I think. You get to try more things, more flavors, more of the kitchen's personality. We ordered the wood-fired bread with whipped ricotta and honey. Ricotta is a soft, creamy Italian cheese with a mild, slightly sweet flavor. Whipped means beaten until light and airy. The combination of warm bread, creamy cheese, and golden honey sounded perfect. We ordered the charred octopus with chimichurri sauce. Charred means slightly blackened on the outside from high heat, giving a smoky, intense flavor. Chimichurri is a bright green Argentinian sauce made from fresh herbs, garlic, olive oil, and vinegar, fresh and vibrant. And we ordered the roasted beet salad with goat cheese and candied walnuts. Beet is a deep red root vegetable with an earthy, slightly sweet flavor. Goat cheese is a soft, tangy cheese made from goat's milk. Candied walnuts are walnuts coated in caramelized sugar, sweet and crunchy. For main courses, I ordered the wood-fired half chicken with roasted garlic juice and seasonal vegetables. Juice is a rich, concentrated sauce made from the natural juices released during cooking, deep in flavor and beautifully glossy. Jason ordered the dry-aged ribeye steak. Dry-aged means the beef has been aged in a controlled environment for several weeks, concentrating the flavor and creating an exceptionally tender, richly flavored piece of meat. Marcus ordered the pan-seared salmon with lemon butter sauce and asparagus, and Priya ordered the wild mushroom risotto. Risotto is a creamy Italian rice dish cooked slowly with broth until it reaches a rich, velvety consistency. We handed back our menus, and the conversation continued. The starters arrived, and the table transformed. That is the only word for it, transformed. One moment we were 4 people talking at a table, the next moment 3 beautiful dishes in the center, warm bread, steam rising gently, the bright green of the chimichurri against the dark octopus, the deep red of the beet salad catching the light. It looked stunning. We passed everything around, each taking portions of each dish. The bread with whipped ricotta and honey was the first thing I tried. The bread was warm and had a slight crunch from the wood fire. The ricotta was impossibly light and creamy. The honey was local and floral. Together, absolutely beautiful. Simple and perfect. Sometimes the simplest combinations are the most extraordinary. The octopus was the surprise of the evening. I wasn't sure about it when Jason suggested it. Octopus is not something I order often, but it was outstanding. The outside was perfectly charred, smoky and slightly crispy, and the inside was tender and yielding. Yielding means soft and giving, not tough or chewy. The chimichurri cut through the richness with freshness and brightness. I immediately wished we had ordered 2 portions. The beet salad was earthy and beautiful, the sweetness of the roasted beet against the tang of the goat cheese, the crunch of the candied walnuts giving texture. A perfectly balanced dish. We ate slowly. We shared. We talked between bites. We made those involuntary sounds of appreciation that food sometimes pulls out of you without warning. The quiet, the small, oh wow, the nodding and eye contact that says this is really good without needing any words. Jason declared the octopus the best thing he had eaten in months. Marcus said the beet salad was better than it had any right to be. Priya had already quietly eaten most of the bread. We ordered another portion of the wood-fired bread, obviously. The main courses arrived about 20 minutes later, perfectly timed, the right amount of space between starters and mains. My wood-fired half chicken was extraordinary. The skin was golden and crackling, the meat underneath was juicy and tender, infused with the smoky depth of the wood fire. The roasted garlic juice pooled at the bottom of the plate, dark and glossy and intensely flavored. The seasonal vegetables, roasted carrots, broccolini, and pearl onions were perfectly caramelized. I ate slowly, very slowly, deliberately slowly. When food is this good, rushing is a crime. Around the table, sounds of genuine satisfaction. Jason was cutting into his ribeye with the focused expression of someone who knows they're eating something exceptional. Marcus was holding his fork over his salmon in a way that suggested he couldn't quite believe how good it was. Priya had taken one bite of her risotto and immediately closed her eyes for a second. That's the ultimate compliment to a dish. The conversation wove naturally through the meal, easy, warm, funny, occasionally quiet when the food demanded full attention. This is the rhythm of a great dinner with good friends, the food and the conversation taking turns, each making the other better. At some point, Marcus said quietly, almost to himself, "This is exactly what a Saturday should feel like." We all agreed, without needing to say anything.
After the main courses, we sat for a while before deciding on dessert. That comfortable, full, warm pause after a good meal when nobody's in any hurry to move and the conversation is easy and the restaurant around you is still alive with the energy of other people enjoying their own evenings. We ordered dessert. We always order dessert. Jason and I shared a warm chocolate fondant with vanilla ice cream. A fondant is a small chocolate cake with a liquid center. When you cut into it, warm melted chocolate flows out. With cold vanilla ice cream on the side, the contrast of warm and cold, rich and light is one of the great combinations in all of dessert. Marcus ordered the seasonal fruit tart. Priya ordered the honey panna cotta. Panna cotta is an Italian dessert, silky, set cream with a gentle wobble, delicate and clean in flavor. We ate dessert slowly. There was no rush, nowhere to be, just 4 friends, a beautiful restaurant, and the last sweet course of a genuinely wonderful evening. The bill came. We split it equally between the 4 of us. Split means divided the total cost equally among the group. In America, splitting the bill equally among friends is very common at group dinners, especially when everyone has ordered roughly similar amounts. It is simple, fair, and avoids the awkward calculation of who owes exactly what. We tipped generously. In America, tipping is an essential part of dining culture. The standard tip at a restaurant is between 18 and 20% of the total bill, a way of thanking and fairly compensating your server for their service. Our server had been excellent all evening, attentive, warm, and knowledgeable, so we left a tip that reflected that. We put on our jackets and walked out into the cool Denver night. On the sidewalk outside Ember, we stood for our usual extended goodbye, nobody quite ready to end the evening. We talked about the food, replayed the highlights, debated the best dish, made plans to come back. Jason was already looking at his phone to see if Ember had a lunch menu. Of course he was. Eventually, hugs, goodbyes, and separate directions home. I walked back to my car alone, hands in my jacket pockets, the cool night air sharp and clean after the warm restaurant.
I thought about the evening, the bread and the ricotta, the octopus, the chicken, and that extraordinary Jew. Marcus saying this is exactly what a Saturday should feel like. He was right. It was exactly what a Saturday should feel like. Good food, good friends, good conversation. The simple, reliable, always available pleasure of sharing a meal with people you genuinely love. Ember, we will be back. Let me go through today's key vocabulary one final time. Highly recommended means many people have spoken positively about something and suggested others try it. Savory means having a strong, pleasant, salty, or spiced flavor, the opposite of sweet. Cuisine means a style of cooking associated with a particular approach or culture. House wine means the wine selected by the restaurant as their standard offering. Charred means slightly blackened on the outside from high heat. Crackling means making small, sharp sounds when bitten into, like crispy food does. Split the bill means to divide the total cost equally among the group. Tip is additional money given to a server as thanks for good service, typically 18 to 20% in America. Thank you so much for spending this Saturday evening with me. I hope this story gave you lots of new English vocabulary and maybe made you a little hungry too. If you enjoyed tonight's story and you want to keep learning natural, real English with fun, everyday stories, please subscribe to Free Daily English right here on YouTube. New stories every week, completely free, made just for you. Just hit that subscribe button below. Take care, everyone. Eat well, and I will see you in the next video. See you soon.